Yorubas, I need you guys to tell Igbos to remain with their husband. A lot of Yorubas here are staying with their husband. Why Igbos, once they land here like bullets, the next thing is to leave their husband? And those of them that did not leave their husband, they will be in their husband's house trying to buy the man.
I decide to go and look at which tribe is the best and worst tribe to marry in Nigeria and other African country after seeing that video. What you are about to see in this video is going to shock you. The data comes from United Nations research that they have done on this topic. Now, we know from the data that most divorce peak between the age of 30 to 39, and 62% of the divorce in most Nigerian relationship is due to financial pressure. And we also know that 40% is due to infidelity and interference from extended family members outside the relationship. Now let us look at a snapshot at each of the tribe in Nigeria. Let's see this video first.
90% of the UK marriages that are broken, that are separated today, are Igbos. Igbo women, what is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people in that UK? 90% of all these broken marriages in UK, they are Igbos. You can't see Bini, you can't see other tribe. It's only Igbo men and women disgracing themselves in TikTok every time, disgracing themselves and their family on TikTok. Broken marriage fighting. 90% in the UK are Igbos. I am Igbo, but I need to say the truth.
According to this video, this lady's view is that her view is consistent with the view of the other lady you saw now. Well, is it really true? Let us look at what the data tells us. The data tells us that the Southeast, the Igbos have the lowest divorce rate in Nigeria. The Northwest and Northeast have high turnover, and the Southwest, where you have the Yorubas, they have moderate divorce rate, but it is rising, especially those from the urban area around Lagos. We know that the south part of Nigeria, especially those from Bayelsa and Calabar, they have high rate of divorce. Now let us now look into the Igbo culture. Let's dig deep into the Igbo relationship. We know that in the Igbo culture, the woman is regarded as asset, and she is expected to be a home builder and mold the family together, especially when the husband is struggling, trying to find his feet. Why? The divorce rate in the Southeast is often low because of, some argue that because of the high price for the bride price, and the extended family act as a buffer, then that act as a protector against divorce in the Southeast. Now let us now look at the role of the Igbo man in this whole thing. The Igbo man is regarded as the high-stake provider. It's likely to be 100% provider, is likely to invest more in his children's education. However, one of the worst labels for the Igbo man is that he's regarded as too money conscious and being too mommy's boy, and likely to come under pressure and succumb in cases where the mom is putting pressure on him if they do not have a male child. Male child is very, very important. It's something that the Igbos put a lot of emphasis in. Now let us now look at the Yoruba woman first. In case you are looking to marry Nigerian, there are a lot of tribes. So I'm breaking it down so you know which one to go close and which one not to avoid. Let's look at the Yoruba woman. The Yorubas prize education. The woman is likely to prize education and career development. And also the woman divorce rate is rising in the Southwest because the Yorubas are more likely to be financially independent, and financial independence and economic empowerment comes with less likely to tolerate any abuse in relationship. So some have argued that that is one of the reasons why divorce rates in the Southwest is going up because the women are not tolerating abuse like previous generation. Now let us now look at the role of a Yoruba man. He's likely to be more egalitarian. He's likely to be less likely to be rigid when it comes to co-parenting and the role of extended family. However, one of the worst labor for Yoruba men is that they are loud, and also they are more likely to be playboy, spend a lot of time outside the home rather than spend more time with their family. Now let us now look at why is it that the Hausas, despite the fact that they are regarded as some to be less westernized and more focused on Islamic religion, why do they have high divorce rate in the northern Nigeria? Well, according to the data, what we know is that the reasons, according to the data, is early marriage, and it is easier for the men in the north to end the relationship and just say, you know what, I've had enough of this marriage, perform quick Islamic rituals, and that will be the end of the relationship. However, the Hausa man is regarded as 100% patriarchal, is more likely to be 100% responsible for his family. One of the worst labor for Hausa men is that they are controlling and prone to polygamy. Northern states in Nigeria have some of the highest rates of polygamy. It is part of the norms and it's part of the culture. Now let's now look at the southern part of Nigeria. We know that women from these tribes in Nigeria, they are taught that the key to a man's heart is food. So they emphasize good cook. Some of the best traits is that they are extremely hospitable and loyal. However, the data reality is that there's high rate of divorce in some states in the south like Bayelsa and Cross River State in Calabar, which means that some have argued that the environment in the Niger Delta, where Nigeria oil comes from, that the volatility in the Niger Delta make a lot of men from that part of Nigeria, they are more likely to be aggressive and violent, use violence to resolve differences if they think that they are not being respected. Let's look at what the data tells us about men from the Niger Delta. The data tells us that they are more likely to be romantic provider. So if you have somebody from Niger Delta, it's likely to be more Romeo and Juliet, and it's likely to be somebody that will provide to the family. However, as I said before, one of the worst labor for them is that they are hot tempered and they are violent and volatile. Some have argued that it is due to the environment in the Niger Delta. Now, why is marriages failing in African culture? Before we do that, let us hear from this expert.
Man, if you're in the United Kingdom and you're looking for a woman to date, start with a Zimbabwean woman. Zimbabwean women, start with that, try them. They will give you some value. Then you can also try Zambian women. They will give you some value. Then maybe try Liberian women. They will give you some value. And Guinea-Bissau women, try them. They will give you some value. Then Madagascar, try some women from Madagascar. They will give you some value. Try some women from Algeria, Morocco, and even Egypt. They will give you some value. Avoid Nigerian women. Avoid them. Avoid Ghanaian women. Avoid Kenyan women. Avoid South African women. Especially Nigerian women. Avoid them. It doesn't matter how beautiful that woman is. It doesn't matter how rich she is. She's abroad with you. Avoid her. Because that woman will make your life a living hell. The women that I mentioned before from those other countries, try those ones. Those ones can give you some value. They will try, they try. But Nigerian, Kenyan, South Africa, Ghanaian women, avoid them. Men, protect yourselves. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay, so that is the expert opinion. But what does the data tell us? Data tells us that 40% of divorce is triggered by husband failure in the Western world. And the data also tells us that when couples move abroad, especially in relationship where the man or the woman, they spend times apart, that creates a scenario where it feels like both of them, they don't know each other, they're in a new environment, and also moving to a new environment where you don't know how your support network, you're trying to navigate the immigration control, you're often likely to start from the bottom. That put pressure on relationship, which is one of the reasons relationship is falling apart in the Western world. Now, let us now look at other factors which may be at play, and we have a bomb for you which we're going to release now, and you will be surprised about what the data tells us about which tribe to avoid and which tribe not to avoid. Well, we know that the best character is a myth. Research shows that educational level, alignment, values, somebody who is a medical doctor, who marries a medical doctor, they are more likely to have something in common. A level of education, interests, similarities, those things are more likely to make relationship increase the risk of relationship succeeding rather than where someone comes from. Now, let us now look at the rise. We also know that there's rise in inter-ethnic and inter-cultural relationship between people from different culture. That's why what we've heard from these three people that contributed to this program, the final verdict is that there is no best tribe. The wife or husband is one who understands that in a country that is as hard as where you live, your peace and your problem, your peace of mind and the ability to resolve your differences in a manner that doesn't resort to violence would increase the likelihood of having a successful relationship. Now, I want to hear your views. Do you think that there are other factors that increase the likelihood of relationship failing, succeeding? Do you think marrying someone from your tribe or outside your tribe increases the chance of relationship succeeding or failing? Let me know what your views are in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll come up with another hot issue.